Aventurière, j'espère que vous allez bien. On est parti direct. Oh, pas d'intro, rien. C'est direct.
Welcome to the Guerrilla Collective, a 3-day digital festival of game announcements, trailers, and demos streamed straight.
Un jour de Guerrilla Collective.
Please welcome your host, Game Awards trending gamer.
Aujourd'hui.
Welcome back to the final day of the Guerrilla Collective. For the last 2 days, we've been showing you brand new games, debuting trailers, and even releasing titles on the spot. But today's my favorite day, honestly. Today, the developers are going to speak directly to you about their projects in a laid-back live stream. You, of course, hang out in the chat, they show you their cool games, and we all get to find our next favorite title. Sound good? Then, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. This is your final day of the Guerrilla Collective. Alex, Justin, take it away.
What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Guerrilla Collective, Day 3. It has been an amazing experience the last 2 days. We are showing over 80 games. We got 7 games today that we're going to be showcasing. And a little bit about me. I am the co-founder of the Media Indie Exchange, The Mix. I helped to produce the Guerrilla Collective along with some of the most amazing producers, publishers and developers from around the world. I'm also a game developer and that type of thing, and I'm going to chop it up with you guys. And sitting next to me is the amazing...
Oh, Alex Wilmer. Thank you. I'm Alex Wilmer.
Ok. C'est
Co-founded
tweeté, Facebooké.
here in
J'espère que vous allez bien. Troisième jour de conférence de Guerrilla Collective.
South Korea and in Ireland. And we work around the clock on video games, animated cartoon series, film, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we're here in Wilmer Sound. Just a little bit about the Guerrilla Collective, like I was saying. Due to the lack of E3, we were like, let's get together, the Mix, and a bunch of publishers and developers, and let's do this thing ourselves independently. So what you see around here, we basically built up a studio within his studio to make this happen, and we've been grinding to make this happen along with the developers here. So this is going to be a really cool experience. We have, like I said, 7 games coming up, and last week we did the Black Voices in gaming stream, which is amazing, and it's just been crazy, as everyone knows, with COVID, Black Lives Matter, all those things happening. We do have a charity. If you can pop the charity up, you can. Those are our sponsors, but it's all good. So we do have a charity that you could donate through Tiltify.
Merci Eti pour le 1 an de sub. Wow. 1 an de sub, c'est beaucoup 1 an de sub. Tu passes dans une nouvelle catégorie là. Waouh, un nouveau petit cas à côté de son pseudo. Quoi, toi Yeti? Comment on va?
Towards the end of the show, guys. But let's roll over to our first trailer and get right into it. This is Iron Harvest.
Peggy 18.
Ça m'a l'air d'être compliqué cette histoire. Ah, ça a l'air d'être bon. Bon.
They said the war would be won within months. An adventure, promising pride,
ça a l'air d'être bon.
In the end, it would be fighting.
Tu reviens du travail, Yeti?
Years of torment and horror, like the world had never seen.
Comment va? Ça va un peu, j'ai encore des phasés dans les oreilles. D'accord.
The great war that was supposed to end all wars is over, while in secret, the seed is sown for the next war. But this time,
moi j'étais en train de comment dire. Oh, ça va être un jeu. Oh. En train de télécharger tous les clips et de les supprimer. Donc j'arrive juste à l'instant en fait. J'ai reboot le PC parce que j'avais un bug. Et j'ai chargé le stream en 3 minutes. Je suis arrivé il y a 30 minutes, je pars dans 30 minutes pour la musique. D'accord. Ah, Iron Fest. 1er septembre. Steam PS4 Xbox. D'accord.
And that was a dope trailer for Iron Harvest. We got Tobias on the line.
Ouais,
Talking
j'arrive
about
à la
games that
fin,
we're
mais
playing. Hey,
ouais, il y en a
this
beaucoup.
dude is going to be driving. Hey, what's up? How's it
J'arrive à
going?
la fin. Entre les bugs qui m'en
thanks for
rechargent
having me, guys.
ils m'en rechargent des précédents,
Really crisp
ça
right
c'est relou,
now. The
mais
beard is
au début j'étais pas
exquisite.
trop chaud
Thank you.
pour
Yeah.
supprimer tous les clips, et puis au final,
Nice. So yeah, we were
bah,
playing
je me
through the
suis dit,
game the other
allez,
day,
on peut les
the demo,
supprimer,
and the game is
je les
really interesting.
télécharge.
Just,
Alors le
I
pire c'est
mean,
que j'ai
did you
rien pour
guys
les
have a
télécharger, donc
Kickstarter
j'ai téléchargé
back
un par un,
like
c'est
a
méga
while
long.
ago?
Yes, that's right.
Et,
Everything started with the
et
Kickstarter.
je pense que les plus drôles, je les mettrai sur Twitter, et
remember correctly.
puis, et
And
puis
yeah,
après,
so
bah,
so
tout,
that's
je
a
garderai
Kickstarter
dans un coin.
project, and now
Voilà.
2 years after, we are right in front of releasing the game. So that we're super excited about that.
That's dope, because I remember when I was actually, I don't know if you heard about Fig, but I actually
Là, je
published
remonte
it on
à
Fig,
plus
and
de
I was
3
looking
clips,
through games, and when you guys were on Kickstarter, I was like, oh my
2
god,
ans,
this is so awesome. You had such
qui est
great
beaucoup.
artwork and animatics and that type of stuff that you were showcasing. I was like, I can't wait for this game to come out. And then when I saw that you guys you're pushing your game for, to showcasing the Guerrilla Collective, I was like, oh my god, we have to play this. And then right now, so let's switch. Alex is going to be playing. It's so interesting that you guys chose to start
Oh,
with
le mec
this
est en
kind
train de
of
jouer.
tutorial where
Oh,
you're actually little kids. I was like, this is fascinating and amazing.
Yes, exactly. So the game, for those who don't know, it's an RTS, right? So a real-time strategy game.
puis il faut que je remette, faut que je mette aussi les clés
somehow need to teach the people how the mechanics work, right? So we thought it's a pretty
de
cool
hier aussi.
way to make it in
J'ai
this
pas
kind
fait
of
aussi. J'ai
slow
plein de
fight
trucs à
scene,
faire
because
aujourd'hui.
not only does it give you the like basics of
J'ai
the
plein de
game,
trucs
but
à
it
faire.
also gives you some background story of the main characters of the game, because this young lady,
Puis aujourd'hui, il y a que
Polania,
cette conf.
the hero for the Polania faction, and it gives the characters actually way more substance, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to have like an organic feel when you're doing that, as opposed to it just being this like really stiff, like you have to read a bunch of texts, a bunch of text. But what was your? Oh, go ahead.
No, press A and D to move the
12e
camera
mois
and
de
stuff. So
sub,
here
c'est
it's like
beaucoup,
a little
putain.
bit more gamification, right?
Yeah.
So that's the word, I guess.
Yeah. True.
J'ai revu les clips drôles de Red Dead 2. M'a fait kiffer.
What was the inspiration behind Iron Harvest?
So,
j'ai hâte de voir quelqu'un débrouiller avec les points Twitch pour qu'on refasse le let's play.
So it's more this classical
J'ai hâte.
and like
Franchement,
the closest is probably
j'ai hâte que quelqu'un se décide à claquer minimum 50 000 points.
Protect them and
Ah,
keep
par contre,
them
le
alive,
stream qui
because
lag,
it's
c'est chiant,
precious
ça.
and very expensive. So it's a very tactical and strategic RTS actually. And from the
Je serais limite
word
prêt
and the
à
design, it's inspired
aller reboot le boîtier 4G encore un coup.
which is a Polish artist, his artwork, and he actually created
Là,
this
ça va, là,
1920 plus universe. That's also in the name Iron
Non, c'est
Harvest.
encore
There's
loin.
like a subtitle 1920 plus. That's the name of
Je sais
the
pas combien
universe,
t'as de points.
and in this universe you have an alternative
Je sais que
where the
Allah
people,
et
instead of
Clomb
tanks,
en
were
ont
using
pas loin de
giant
40
mechs
000.
actually to
Mais voilà.
fight, and we call this era the diesel punk area. So steampunk is a little bit earlier, cyberpunk later, and this 1900s is the diesel punk era, and that's where we are playing, and this is where where's everything based on.
That's super interesting. So yeah.
18K.
So what role do you play on the team? I'm just curious.
Excuse me? Come again?
What do you do on the team? I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, so I'm Toby. I'm the PR manager for this game. So I'm the one who's showing his beard into the camera and tell you.
Je pense
how
à en
great the game
rajouter
is.
d'autres, mais des petits jeux, pas des.
I'm taking the game, I'm traveling the world with it, and I'm trying to show it to the people. And actually, that's what we did since the Kickstarter campaign.
Des jeux à 5 je pensais à mettre à 5 000.
We are also doing right now. There's a closed beta for Iron Harvest, but the
big announcement, if I can say it like that. From tomorrow, there will be a demo on Steam, so everyone can try at least a little bit of Iron Harvest before it actually releases. And that's important for us because we are collecting feedback and try to implement as much as possible into the game.
There's a multiplayer component where you're fighting against your friends and that type of thing.
Very right. So in this RTS, of course, there's a big campaign. That's the part which is inspired by Warcraft 3, so with the hero units and the deep single-player campaign. So there will be planned right now 21 missions for the single-player campaign. But of course, as you said, there's also a multiplayer, which I like a bit more than the single-player, but just me personally, because I believe that having this huge mech fight, stomping through buildings, outrunning your opponent, outsmarting your friend is even more interesting than fighting AI. But that's just me. So if you are more into the single-player part, then go ahead.
He got defeated. What can you tell us
in the tutorial?
In the tutorial with snowballs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well,
no diesel.
No diesel, but hard ice. You can try a skirmish battle if you want, because then you can see more than just throwing ice.
Yeah.
And then if you're quick enough, you will be even able to build some mechs and show the people how the. Hey, someone in the chat is writing Snowpunk. Yeah, Snowpunk. That's the tutorial. Dope. Exactly.
That's dope.
That's really dope.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story while we get back and go try a skirmish?
Of course. So the story is, well, in this 1920 plus universe, there's 3 factions there's more factions, but in the game there's 3 factions. We have Polania, which is something like alternative Poland, Rusviet, something like alternative Russia, and Saxony, which is something like alternative Germany, and they are fighting each other in Iron Harvest. So, and the idea is that, I don't want to spoil too much about the single player, of course, but the idea is that there is some kind of super weapon somehow someone has it, everyone wants it, and all the campaigns are actually trying to get to this point. Who gets the weapon? Who will take charge? Who will be the powerful source in the end of the game? And that's like the big overview of the campaign. But of course, for every campaign, for each faction, we have 7 missions. So you will see the different angles on the game and the different parts of the game from different views, and eventually find out.
J'aime bien ce genre de jeu de strat, mais.
So there's some plot twists and stuff, and the missions should be as unique as possible.
Cool. You're gonna have to run us through this as he starts getting things moving.
So first of all, so that's the Company of Heroes style gameplay, where you have no. If you think of a Command & Conquer or something, you have to collect your Tiberium. Here you have to conquer those iron mines and oil pumps, and they will then over time generate some resources for you. So the big idea is it's something like moving the front line back and forth all the time. You have to recapture resource points. They will generate something, but the opponent can take them from you at every moment, and so on. The 2 units you have right now is regular riflemen and engineers. Those engineers with the these ones exactly. They they're pretty much building your base. So if you push H or put on the building, push the building button on the bottom right when you click the engineer, then you can build some buildings like barracks and a workshop in your base. And as I said, it's moving the front line back and forth. So on the minimap on the left side, you can see how the opponent is slowly conquering resource points and those flags there. And it's a bit like capture the flag. So if the opponent takes them, then there's a counter, which you can see on the top, the winning points, victory points, which I personally don't like. I'm for the annihilation, fighting the opponent till the end. But yeah. Sneaky win with victory points is of course also possible.
There's no snowballs here.
If no snowballs.
Yeah, if you
I'm attacking these guys. Oh, they ran away.
Yes, exactly. You can. They saw you probably, or they took the oil pump and now they're getting something different. So on the map you have the oil pump. You have crates. In those crates there can be weapons, there can be resources, there can be There's field gun, for example, weapons lying around, and you can adapt on the battlefield while playing the game. And the coolest thing, I believe, is not only the covering system that you have to take cover when you're attacking someone, but when you have a mech or something, then you can walk through buildings and just ignore all the cover because they're way too big and will just stomp through.
That's awesome.
I would heavily recommend to start building a base, because you took all your units, especially the engineers who is not good at shooting,
Ah, c'est pas mal comme
and you
genre.
took them to this house. Yes, the house button. If you click on the house button, then you can build, for example,
Faut aimer le genre après.
barracks or workshop, and put it in the base. It's the thing you neglected in the very first moment. Yeah.
Tobias is going in on Alex.
Learning is fun.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, it's as always, you have to get the basics, and that's why the snowball, that's what the snowball tutorial was trying to teach you, that of course how to move on the battlefield, but also how to build your base and take care of it.
My barracks is
so
under
it's
attack.
getting.
Oh,
By the way, I'm trying to right now talk to you via my cell phone, and I'm using mobile data. So if anything happens, then just so you know.
They'll figure it out.
It's all good.
It's good.
But it seems to work, so I have my makeshift streaming device.
No, your stream is amazing, by the way. When we saw your camera, it's like better than like 90% other, you know what I mean? Looks super pristine.
Thank you, cell phone manufacturer.
I feel like I have lost all my units and my base.
So you were learning the hard way. How about we start again, and you use one of those units you have there, the rifleman, to capture resource points, and the other one, the engineers, to immediately start to build something, and then you send out the engineers as well.
So
let's restart.
Okay.
Yeah. For instance. Are you sure you want to restart? Yes, sir.
Yes,
so,
you definitely do.
I sure am.
Of course, it's the base building is just the focus is not on the base building. You need a base to be able to build units. Of course, that's where you get your mechs and your soldiers. However, the focus on the game will always be on the front line of the battlefield. So what actually happens is that you're trying to protect your resource points at all time. You're trying to push the enemy back and so on. And what's really interesting, maybe you saw it when your units died. Whenever you kill a human unit, they will drop their weapons. So let's say you are killing, I don't know, a flamethrower unit, then you can tell your engineers to pick up the flamethrowers, and they upgrade to become flamethrower units. So a potentially weak unit becomes a potentially very strong unit. However, you then lose the engineers and become flamethrower. So this gives you a lot of independence and flexibility on the battlefield. Which
Bon,
cool.
bonne musique,
So
Yeti.
You
À plus tard. Merci d'être venu payer ton resub et d'être venu faire un coup. Ça fait plaisir.
Cannons if you're lucky enough to find them anywhere, somewhere. So,
ouais, il y a moyen que je reboot le stream. Hein.
We have to push for more resources. So
j'arrive, je reboot le stream, c'est trop un enfer pour vous.
Lying around, you can see them on the map. There are those white boxes. Those are weapon crates or resource crates.
I see.
Or, exactly those ones. And it's a weapon crate, so inside there will be a weapon, but there's also oil crates and iron crates. And if you go to the resource points, then you can capture them as well. In your HQ, the only building you have currently, you can also build basic units. So you could build another engineer, for example, so you have 3 units instead of 2. What is very important for you, I guess, is the retreat button. So once one of your units, you're laughing, but actually it really helps you to survive, because in same as in Company of Heroes, you cannot afford to rebuild so many units, so you need to keep them alive. You push it. Perfect. You just push the R button or the button on the bottom right, and
nice.
They will get a hit point bonus, and they're running back to their HQ where you can repair them or heal them.
Okay.
Oh,
So
cool.
once they arrive at your HQ, they will lose this small arrow on the head, and if you push R again, you will replenish the unit.
Okay.
R or the top left button.
So Tobias, when is the release?
The release is on the but this joke only works in Europe. However, the game is called Iron Harvest 1920 plus 1920, which is the 1st of September 2020.
Okay, nice.
Only works in Europe though. So it's in a few weeks,
Désolé
in a
pour
few
les...
months. There's
la
the
coupure,
Iron Harvest is
mais
releasing.
ça lag trop
But,
chez vous.
and that's a very important
Donc,
and very cool
je
part.
préférais
From tomorrow, you can
reboot le
get your
boîtier
demo
4G.
on Steam for free, so
Tout
you can try it for
simplement.
several days. So it's from June 16th to June 22nd. You can try it, give your feedback, and try to stay alive a bit longer.
Definitely be practicing. The game is awesome. It's very gorgeous. I love playing the beginning part of it. I'm definitely going to be playing it. You can wishlist it now.
Exactly. So
yes.
Go Steam, Epic, whatever shop you like, go there and you can wishlist it and try it if you go to Steam.
Thank you so much, Tobias. It was amazing having you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It was great.
Yeah, for sure. All right. That was Iron Harvest, King Art Games, Tobias. The game is really fun. It's cool. It obviously takes a minute to really get into. It's an RTS, but the game is...
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy in that game, which is really cool. It's amazing to see the dynamic cover too, the way that you go behind the cover and they automatically take cover and stuff. It's really cool. It's the kind of thing you need plenty of time to kind of figure out, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the kind of thing that I would lose many hours playing for sure.
Okay, so up next we have Say No More, Marius Winter. Roll the trailer, sir.
Oula.
Hey, you! Did you just start your internship? Welcome, intern. And we're destroyed by your coworkers!
Make me coffee.
Copy these papers!
Bad hair day alert.
Your supervisor probably just stole your lunch! Thanks, intern! And the problem is, you are too shy to say something!
I don't see coffee.
But don't worry, all you need is just one word. It's the word no!
Whoa!
You work late today. No!
Whoa! Be nice to our supervisor.
Clean the coffee maker. No.
Go, Marty.
No. Yes, you learned well. Big way.
No. Hey, keep it down.
Hey, let's go. Okay, you can. No. What is this madness?
D'accord. iOS. Okay.
Your outfit is bad. Oh, you're being weird. Stop clapping. Hey, what are you doing? No, I was just projecting.
That was Say No More. This game looks really hilarious. We got Marius on the line.
Oh, hey.
How's it
Hello.
going?
I'm good. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
1 2 1 2. Awesome.
Did you play one of the voices for the game?
I did. These were all placeholder voices by me. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because the game is super hilarious. By the way, I kept playing it over and over again the other day. It reminds me of old school PS1 games, which may be what your influence is. But there's one in particular called Incredible Crisis that I used to love. And I would just keep playing through that game, and this is dead on. I'm when I saw this game, I think I saw it a while ago. You guys were going to show it at the Mix GDC or something like that, and I was like, oh my god, we gotta check this game out. So we finally got our hands on it. Alex is going to play through it. It's hilarious. You have to talk about how you came up with this idea.
Alors, on va voir du gameplay aussi.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very cool. If you look at our inspiration document, Incredible Crisis is one of the games that inspired this game. Also, Muscle March on the Wii was also a big inspiration.
Muscle March? I'm writing that down.
Oh, Muscle March is amazing. You all have to Google it now. But it's it's an old Wii game. I don't know if you can play it anymore, but anyway, this is more in terms of the art style and humor what inspires this game. But the original inspiration came. So my friend Nick and we both came up with this game, and we both are game designers at Studio Fitspin, and we know each other since kindergarten. So we grew up together and played games together.
That's cool.
And humor. And a couple years ago, we were playing around with Unity and making weird prototypes. And one thing that we want to have in video games that we rarely get is, imagine in games where you can jump and there's an NPC, and if you jump in front of the NPC, just jumping around, they don't react to that. And we want games where they are like, why are you jumping around? This is not normal. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like these are games that we want. And so we made a little game in an office environment where people talk to you and you can only answer, there are 4 things you can say. You can say yes, no, maybe, or interesting. What do you think? And they always react to whatever you say.
Yeah,
and then you can imagine that. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay, you can imagine the most fun part was to say no to everyone without context, just always saying. And so we figured, let's just throw away all the other things. Let's just focus on no. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. Where are you guys from?
We are
Je
from
pense que c'est
Germany.
pas du tout le genre de jeu qui m'intéresse de ouf. Hein.
Okay.
Mais bon.
That's awesome. Yeah, the social interaction aspect of it is really, really interesting, and I like how you layered it. Like at first you can't say anything, and then you get this motivational, and you'll see it. I'm spoiling everything, but you get like this motivational speaker telling you to say no, and then you get this motivational speaker telling you how to laugh in someone's face, like to startle them or mess with their mind, and just those layers and the interaction and the body language and that type of thing is very fresh. It's interesting.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's what also came after. So when we knew, like, let's make a fun little game about just saying no, we also only then noticed, like, hey, wait a minute, we both are scared of saying no as well. Like, it's hard. We would rather say yes in a lot of situations than no. And we noticed, like, oh, this makes so much sense that we want to make this game. We want to be better at saying no. And it's not like that we actually didn't have bad internships or something like that. The office environment is just the setting of this game.
Yeah.
But a lot about the game is just about, things where you would... I personally think, for example, if I get invited to a party of a good friend and I just don't want to go, but I still go.
Yes.
Because I don't want to because I feel like a bad friend if I say no.
Yes.
And so this game is about this.
I think a lot of us have that trouble, especially if you're like creative, or you know what I mean? Like anytime someone asks me to do something, I want to take on the challenge personally. So it's like, I don't know. It's interesting. This is the part.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. This is the part I'm talking about, though. The motivational speaker.
No. Come on, try it on this jerk. No. Whoa, not bad. You can also say no in a different way. No. Swap to a cold no by pressing this button. To swap back to your heated no, press this. No. Hit doors for the no you prefer. The choice is yours. No. Now show this meanie what you got. No. Yeah!
That's hilarious.
Listen, I know it's outrageous saying no these days, but if you don't use it, jerks like these lunch stealers will always win.
Lunch stealers.
Do you want that? No. Exactly. No. But wait, there's more. Before destroying jerks with a juicy nose, confuse them like heck by laughing at them.
I love this part.
Hold this button to laugh at this dude. Or you can clap at them with this button. The choice is yours.
I feel awkward.
Know him.
Right? Laugh at idiots to feel better.
I don't know why.
Laugh at idiots. Make them feel weird.
What?
I'm actually smart.
I like it.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
laugh
what
at-
I was talking about. I like the game when I imitate NPCs.
Yeah.
So just doing a slow clap.
To my channel. Yes, you learned well.
Just subscribe to my channel.
I like say no to this jerk.
No, whoa. I need some. No. Did you see my new lunchbox? No. Excuse me? What did you say? What?
He busted a combo on his face.
You are just an intern. Fire that intern supervisor. No.
Rapid fire. The dude was hiding. Okay, I was like, the dude was like hiding in the bushes. The planter.
Oh. Sometimes they're nice people, and you could get a reward if you don't say anything.
Oh, interesting. I was just rapid firing no everywhere. Try to find a nice person.
This game supports spamming the space bar. Definitely.
What kind of weak so cute. You are. Okay, that's it.
Oh, you got blasted, son.
Yes.
Lunch stealers.
Flip the tape.
Ouais, vraiment pas le type de jeu qui m'intéresse le plus, mais bon, ok.
What happened? Did you got crushed
Non.
by a jerk who won't
Bon,
listen?
jamais même.
What a bunch. But don't worry, I'm here to teach you a new kind of no.
When is this game being released? And like on what platforms?
Later this year.
Okay.
And I always joke about like in Iron Harvest. I also have a joke for the release. I hope we can release in November 9.
Wow.
Because 9 in German is also no.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
I would go so far if we miss that date, we just wait a year for next November 9, 2021.
That's so good.
Or maybe not. I don't know. But officially, no, we don't have a exact date yet. But later this year.
Is there gonna be a demo out for this for people to play, or not yet?
Yeah, there's also a demo on Steam.
Okay.
On the Steam Game Fest. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, shout out to Valve for working with the Guerrilla Collective and all the devs for to get our games up.
I don't know why you're saying the dialogue is temp. I would keep this.
It's solid, and this is coming from a VO expert. Like, this is a sound studio.
Thank you so much. I actually will voice a lot of characters, but we casted a couple more actors, so there's more variety.
The dialogue is hilarious. And so, did you write all the dialogue?
I wrote it together with Brandon Gibbons. So we basically, this was also there's this was one of the technical challenges, like having building the tools for us to put in a lot of the creative choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, we basically in each level we just write in a big sheet. We just write the jokes
That's
from top
great.
to bottom, and it was just write them and then they are in, and this was it was a really fun experience writing the jokes because it was a lot of elements in this game is just like, here's a funny thought, I write it down and it's done. there are a lot of things where we don't
Il
think too
parle de
much
la
about them.
horde, le
And if they
monsieur.
make us laugh from the beginning, then we keep in the silly stuff. Because there's a lot of encounters you have in this game. This is just the first of 8 levels.
Well, we are not going to spoil the end of this demo for everybody. It's so this game is so amazing. Everybody wishlist it and check out the game soon. 9. But yeah, thank you so much, Maris. Where can they follow the game and where can they check everything out?
We now have a Twitter account. It's today. It's at saynomore_game. And also our webpage is saynomore.re. And yeah, this is this is where you get the news and all the newest news. Yeah,
cool.
I didn't practice this.
You were waiting.
I see myself on the screen, like
you should have just told me no. You know. But yeah, thanks so much. The game is like really refreshing. You know, to see something like brand spanking new and different. Keep making these type of games. I think we need to celebrate this kind of ingenuity and interesting kind of design. So yeah,
very cool.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Bye.
Say no more.
Say no more, Justin.
Okay, I definitely won't. That game is freaking hilarious. It's definitely up my alley. What we have next is Tanya Short with Boyfriend Dungeon. Let's roll the trailer, please. That was the amazing trailer for Boyfriend Dungeon, the highly anticipated game from Kit Fox Games. And we have Tanya chilling out with us.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's all right. You know, it's a Monday and there's super cool indie games being shown by Guerrilla and Steam. So it's a good day.
Yeah, it's a great day. Thanks for hopping on. The game looks amazing, by the way. I know a lot of people are anticipating it. And we're
we've gotten a lot of wish lists, a lot of attention, and it's a shame we can't, go to conventions anymore. But I'm glad that there's events like this so people can still find out about it and see what they like. And this demo has never been shown outside of a convention floor, so this is pretty nerve-wracking, but also exciting.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I remember like when we were working with you guys to showcase it last year. We were trying to get you on the stream, and you were like, not yet. But so it's cool to actually be able to showcase it. So tell us a bit about the game.
So it's a dating sim / dungeon crawler, and you alternate between the 2 parts of the game. You spend a lot of time in the dungeon, and in that dungeon you find treasure, and you fight monsters, and you find new weapons, and then those weapons become beautiful people, and if you want to get more skilled with that weapon and find new abilities, then you gotta date them. You could also just be friends. Platonic weapon relationships are possible. But yeah, you choose who you want to hang out with, and then you choose who you want to fight with. And meanwhile, there's other people you can text message here, go shopping, live your best life in Verona Beach, California.
Nice. What was the inspiration behind your game coming up with this? It's a really interesting idea.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing dungeon crawlers and RPGs and dating sims, and there's a few other games that have, decent combat and decent dating, but I never felt like I was able to date all the people I wanted to. And I don't know, I also felt like sometimes they were a little bit too serious. So I guess I wanted something a little bit lighter, and I wanted to be able to date all the different kinds of people. And I was surprised a few years ago that that game still didn't really exist, so we had to make it.
Totally makes sense. It kind of reminds me, like when I first played it or saw it, it kind of initially reminded me of Persona, the old, like the one of the first two Personas, and then also it reminded me just the idea of the weapons having kind of their own personality was Disgaea, just a little bit. But it's interesting that you have that aspect that each one of these characters is a weapon, you know.
So you can see he's picking an upgrade ability there, and you can go back and change that later in the full game. There's a gym where you can change up your combos that you've picked. But yeah, every level of love rank up, you'll get either a new ability or a choice of two abilities. And
I chose swinger.
yeah, we took. Okay, you're a swinger then. Good job. Yeah.
I chose it at
or
random.
maybe that just means. Yeah. Yeah, we took inspiration from a lot of different places. I feel like we came up with something that's pretty unique. But yeah, I love each of the weapons because they're all so different.
How many weapons are there in the game?
So, on the Kickstarter that we ran a couple of years ago, we announced 9. It looks like we're probably going to launch with 7 and then have 2 come out as free DLC afterwards.
Okay, cool.
At least free for Kickstarter backers. We haven't decided if we're gonna charge after that.
Makes sense. I can imagine that the creativity on your team goes wild trying to come up with new weapons. You know what I mean? Oh my God, there's this one that we want to create, and there's that one, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds of weapons out there, and different. I was really surprised to find that so many people had a fondness for a certain kind of weapon. And 7 isn't Borderlands or anything, number of weapons, but hopefully there's a good range of different kinds of personalities and different kinds of swords, and then there'll be something for everybody, I hope.
So
But yeah, there's four guys and 2 women and 2 non-binary people.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And then a cat.
Oh, really? I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, he's little brass knuckles.
Nice.
We got a transformation sequence.
It's so sick.
Yeah, this is Tawar. He's going back to his human form to flirt better.
So tell us a little bit about the dungeon crawling sequence.
Yeah, so after this date, I assume you'll go into the dungeon. It's randomly generated, and the first dungeon that you unlock is a mall dungeon. And the dungeons are manifestations of your own fears and insecurities. So it's sort of like a form of therapy that's a little bit more violent. Okay. And so I'm not gonna spoil what all the symbolism is of the different enemies in the mall dungeon, but then later a nightclub dungeon is also unlocked, and you'll get to know this whole town over the course of the game. But so far we're planning 2 full dungeons and then also a mini dungeon for the boss fight, and we'll see if there's more for the DLC as well. But there's 12 floors you have to fight through. And if you make it through 4 floors, you'll earn an elevator. You'll unlock an elevator so you can skip through the first 4 floors.
Okay, cool. And you said they're randomly generated every time.
Randomly generated, yeah. Cool. And there's these different enemies you can fight, and you're going to level up both in terms of love with your weapon that you're wielding, but also you yourself will gain experience points and level up your wielder level. So that's your overall strength. And there's also little hangouts you can find in the dungeon. So little places you can go and spend a few extra minutes together to unwind and enjoy the scenery.
Use your boba, son. Use your boba.
Yeah, you gotta heal yourself with your bubble tea. Although we have settings, you can change that. If you're not a big fan of bubble tea, you can always get coffee. Boyfriend Dungeon supports different kinds of beverage.
Nice. So, can you unveil one of the metaphors behind the enemies? I know you don't want to spoil too much, but you're hitting cell phones and TVs.
Well, I'll say that in the tutorial, you're sort of guided through this with S-Stock. S-Stock sort of teaches you the basics of sword fighting and also like what the dungeon is about. And he says there's a few possibilities. He thinks maybe it has to do with, you know, feeling a little bit cold and stagnant. Like why are they all sort of older technologies? And so is it about a fear of stagnation? Is it about a fear of getting outdated? Is it a fear of technology? You know, you'll find out as you go. But the main focus of the game is the relationship with your weapons. But there is sort of this undercurrent of you as a player being this person who's never dated anyone before, and you move to a new town, and you go to the dungeon, and you fight monsters, and meet all these beautiful people, and hopefully you're confronting your fears a little bit too. But yeah, you can see if you vary up your light attacks and heavy attacks, you'll get different combos. And since you unlocked, you're level 2 now, you're going to have bleeding effects on the enemies. And so as you level up with Talwar, you'll get better and better options for how to control your bleeding effects and get more damage over time going on more different kinds of enemies. But that's Talwar's specialty.
Okay.
It looks like there's a treasure chest, but it depends if you wanna go deeper, go get that treasure chest.
Oh.
I'm looking at your mini map in the upper right.
Oh, upper right. Oh. Is it the staircase? Is that what that is?
The staircase is how you
Salut Arnaud.
further down.
Ouais, c'est ici la conf qui fait dormir. Viens ici. Et je t'avoue qu'on se fait chier pour l'instant.
I have to collect all the treasure.
You need to.
They tend to be recipes that you can. Oh, it's a ambush.
Ambush.
But yeah, you'll find recipes, so you can craft different armors or different hats or different outfits or gifts. You can craft gifts to give to your dates when you're out with them on the town.
So when you go back home, you're able to craft different things with your recipes, or is it like in the dungeon during combat?
No. You get materials and recipes in the dungeon.
Okay. Cool.
Plastic is a new ingredient you've just found. But yeah, no, when you go back home, you can craft stuff to then take out with you.
Oh, nice.
And although it's not in the demo, you can't craft, but it's working in the real game, I promise.
I assure you, it's working.
What are you launching on?
We have announced that we're launching on PC and Mac and Switch.
Cool, nice.
We don't have a release date. I'm sorry.
It's not. Totally get that. Totally understand.
Ah ouais? Bon, je pense qu'on aura des news à l'EA Play, hein, mais ouais. On verra bien ce que ça donne.
We're doing our best. We want the game to be really good. That's what we really want. We want all of this to be as good as it can be before it gets out into everyone's hands.
And
I think our Kickstarter backers have really high expectations. So.
This makes sense. You guys killed it with your Kickstarter, which is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. We met a lot of really great people. Our Discord blew up. We have a lot of really lovely folks of all different kinds that are cheering us on. And so we're not afraid of launching. We just really want it to be good because, at this point we've spent over 4 years on it, and it'd be a shame to spend 4 years and then release something that you didn't think was great,
Yeah, for sure. Same boat.
I mean, no matter what, you always have things you're going to want to change.
Ouais, je pense qu'on aura des news à l'EA Play. Hein.
Yeah, totally.
T'inquiète.
So are you in Montreal?
Yeah, we're Montreal studio.
How is your team handling?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, how's your team handling working remotely?
Pretty good. We actually already had one work from home day every week anyway.
That's cool.
So we had the basics set up. Of course, I think people are getting a little bit lonely and restless now that it's been a while. Don't forget to drink your tea.
Where's my LB. There we go.
Yeah, feels better. Oh, you found a vending machine. I wonder what that's about.
Get some more.
$5 in there.
Some rando stuff.
Whoa, what's gonna happen?
Ooh.
Mysterious. Uh-oh.
Secret area.
You found a secret.
That was pretty dope.
These monsters are just hanging out. What are they doing?
So how do we find out more about the game? Is a demo coming out soon? Are you going to release a demo or no?
Not immediately.
Okay.
We're probably going to wait on the demo for a little bit longer to release it to everybody. But
Cool.
you can wishlist the game on Steam. You can subscribe to our newsletter. If you go to boyfrienddungeon.com, you can read more about it. You can join our Discord. You can tweet at us. We have all the boyfriend details for you. And the community is really welcoming. So if you just want to make some new friends, maybe join and chat Boyfriend Dungeon with us anytime.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's awesome to
Thanks for having me.
Get the game in our hands and play it. Hope.
Boyfriend Dungeon.
Thanks, Tanya.
Bye.
That was Tanya from Kit Fox Games. Boyfriend Dungeon, highly anticipated. Their community is crazy. It's pretty awesome. Up next, wait, let's shout out our sponsors and our partners. They've been amazing, helping us to make this happen. Idea Xbox, Razer, Wilmer Sounds for helping put this together. We also want to shout out to our media sponsors, IGN, GameSpot, Twitch, of course. The Idea Xbox folks are working with us on Mixer. It couldn't have been possible without you guys. This is all an independent collective of developers and publishers, and they really believed in what we were doing for the movement. Also, you can contribute to the charities that we have during these crazy times. UNICEF, NAACP, and the Game Heads through our charity link below. It's definitely will help some folks out. But up next, yes, we have 30XX, the sequel to 20XX. Run the trailer.
Ça y est, on va arrêter de se faire chier. Ça, c'est un jeu qui m'intéresse.
That was 30XX, the sequel to 20XX or 2000XX. Here we got Chris King. We're going to play the game. Highly anticipated. How's it going?
Hello.
Good, good. Yeah, thanks for sharing the game. When I saw that you guys entered 30XX, I was like, oh my God. Because 20XX, I mean, for me personally, as a developer and loving Capcom games, that kind of thing, it kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, what is this? At first I was like, is this a Mega Man clone? And then I was looking at how you guys were developing it and evolving the game, and it was like, what? This is, obviously it pays homage, but it's a different type of experience. And to see that you guys made that, it was successful, and then you guys are making this one, and the art looks gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us a little bit about the evolution of what you've done in the genre with this game?
Yeah, of course. So with the first game, we're super happy with how well 20XX did for us. It was our first commercial game. None of us had made games before. It was the first time we'd really come to this. And so,
tu sais quoi, Arnaud? Cyberpunk, plus ça va, plus je me dis qu'il sortira pas le 13 septembre. Je pense qu'il sera repoussé. Je pense pas qu'il sortira. Je pense pas qu'il sortira le 13 septembre. On verra bien, hein. Il y a un event soon, mais je serais pas étonné.
High fidelity, really crisp, punchy pixel art style was where we always kind of wanted to take the title in the first place. And so we knew there was so much more we wanted to do on pretty much every side of the game. So it just made sense to go ahead and make a full sequel.
Nice, nice. I think you should. Can we play multiplayer? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
We'll wait till he dies. If he
time.
dies, then which will certainly happen.
I will die for sure. All right.
So, can you tell us a little bit about I don't know. I'm obviously interested in the process, but tell us about the game.
Sure. So 30XX is kind of like co-op roguelike Mega Man X. So It controls a lot like the classic action platformers of the 90s era, except with far crisper controls than are possible during that area because we have much better like PC refresh rates now, right? So we're able to process your inputs way faster, so it's going to be crisper than was ever possible back then.
Je pense que le jeu il est cru, hein, donc c'est pas un petit jeu. Là, il y a le PEGI 18, il est bien respecté là, donc je suis pas étonné.
This is a fun piece to get right at the beginning of a demo. Maybe we'll see co-op after all. So hit those little crystals as you go. They spawn little platforms. Oh, that was fast. We're gonna pretend. No, that was very obviously on purpose, so we can test.
Yes, we're doing co-op.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Bingo. That's exactly. Go. So go to that little hit multiplayer, hit B, hit couch co-op, and then hit A.
Do it again.
I'm sorry, hit. A. I think you both hit it. Yeah, there you go.
Hit B. Okay.
So now we have one Nina and one Ace.
Let's make this happen. You're gonna have to run through this because playing this style of game and then asking questions is a rough business.
It's tough. Yeah, you really gotta focus. So you're moving around. You're dashing. If you jump while you dash, you're gonna do like a long jump that you can cross much bigger gaps with.
Wait, so you dash? This is interesting playing. Now I was talking mad stuff, and now I can't even get up. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Life. You gotta go a little higher, and then you got it. There it is. Nice.
Okay.
Trial by fire. Everything's great. You notice the camera zooms out a bunch in co-op.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's cool to play this. It's like when I was I died, but as a kid, you always wanted to play these style of games with somebody. So having that component is really.
That's exactly where we were, right? When we first started making 20XX, we really just wanted the ability to have some kind of cooperative play in these kinds of games because we always wanted them growing up, right? Growing up, you had to share the controller.
Yeah.
Your brother wants to play, and you have a really hard lesson very quickly about having difficult chunks at the beginning of a demo that's streamed in front of a bunch of people.
It's good. The game is challenging, which is great.
It is challenging. This is a very early pre-alpha for us. This is super, super early stuff. We've obviously spent time polishing the demo, but since it's a roguelike, since we're going to throw random level pieces at you, every so often we're going to have pieces that are maybe a little more difficult than we intend to be really early at the beginning of a demo show up. Like, this looks much more reasonable. No required precise wall jumps. Just probably where you ought to be on level 1 of a demo. I have some work to do after this.
But I learned how to jump, do a vertical wall jump, which is great. Now I'm going to use that tool,
ideally, though, I teach you to do that without a fire that's going to kill you right there and just wrecking you.
He's dead.
So because it's roguelike, anytime you fall in lava or touch a spike or anything like that, we're just going to do a little bit of damage to you and set you back instead of like straight up killing you. There are optional difficulty toggles, of course, that let you turn on auto kill spikes, but like pretty unfriendly for a game like this where we expect you to get through on one shot.
Let's go down.
There you go.
So how's the game laid out as far as progression?
That is an awesome question. So in 20XX, there are 4 basic level themes you play through twice every time you play through a run of the game. Where a run of the game is 8 levels that are themes, 8 main sequence stages that are in a semi-random order. The player has some level of control over the order in which they tackle the stages, but not complete control. So like in a Mega Man game, you finish a stage and there's 7 stages left, right? And you can pick whatever one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting chased, run.
Ah! Got smashed by the wolf spikies.
And maybe don't touch the fire. So the big thing you're noticing here, and this is critical to our process here, right? Is that you're making progress. Each of these runs has gotten further than the last.
Yes, we're getting better.
You absolutely are.
We're learning machines.
Yeah, in 30XX, each boss, each main sequence stage has his own entire unique set this time. Oh, it's this piece again. Oh, look at that.
See that? I learned it.
Auquel tu joueras pas, à celui qu'on est en train de voir ou à Cyberpunk?
Love to see it.
Oh, it's this. Yeah. I'm gonna start.
There it is. Nina's got it.
Okay.
So this should also still work in the demo, but if Ace holds B for a couple seconds, you should be able to like teleport up to your teammate.
Oh, what? B?
Just a co-op feature. And then let it go.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, schnooks.
old carryover feature from 20XX. It's important. You know, one of the things
Ouais, c'est un Mega Man-like.
That it's always a
Faut aimer.
fun experience, regardless of potential like skill disparities between players.
Yeah, I was thinking that. That's cool.
One of the things that can get really tough, especially I think the onus for us adding that was definitely at one PAX with 20XX years ago. It was like a young father telling us that his kid absolutely loves the game, has so much fun with it, loves the characters, but just really struggles with some of the platforming segments.
Yeah.
And having the child able to like teleport up, meet the parent, made their experience a million times better. So we spent a little time, shot that, and got it in. And of course, we want to make sure that all of the lessons we learned while we were making 20XX carry over to 30XX. You know, we don't want to backslide in anything here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I haven't even seen this piece.
I was gonna say for if you're playing with kids, that's really important. That's really awesome that you did that.
Yeah, we want the game, so obviously at the top end, like with this kind of game, hey, a revive capsule. Hey, it's good to know those work in the demo. Free testing, yeah.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh man, that was convenient. Yeah, we gotta make sure that while the game needs to be properly challenging at the top end, like if you grew up with these kind of games, you want the super spicy, intense, like perfect platforming that the sort of harder top end of these games really can afford. Hey, box. Hey, some health and some money.
I got
nice.
items.
Can he teleport down to me?
Yeah. Don't do it on a fire.
Yeah.
Try it. Go down that. Yeah, there you go. So it should work pretty much anywhere.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right,
How big is
come up on this chase section again?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we know that we don't want to get hit by the wolf spikes.
Oops. Don't want to get hit by the spikes. Well,
fire.
Flame.
Dash it out.
No, I want to kill. Oh, look at that! Look at my skills on.
Nothing is broken.
That's.
Oh! I thought my.
Right, a little further. That was
I thought my skills were impeccable.
Leveled last time.
We're getting
super
better.
fun. How big is your team?
It really depends on how you measure. There are 8 or so of us working on 30XX right now, all of which in different capacities. You know, if you're adding up everybody's like full-time contributions, it's probably more like 6. It's myself doing tech creative design. We've got 2 lovely artists, one doing characters and sprite work. That's Clever Kataki. If you recognize this kind of sprite style from either like Rogue Legacy or Chasm or Duelist, same guy.
Oh yeah, cool.
The tiles and the backdrops and all that stuff is Fabian Jastrzemski, German environment artist. They've both been lovely. Brandon Ellis, our composer in Georgia, with all the sweet tunes that you've got to have.
Yeah.
Nice. And we've got sorry, I'm getting a little too into the weeds about individual team members, but everybody is lovely. They're about 8 of us.
It's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it's about twice the size of 20XX's team. It's been solid. So, Murray, you can teleport up.
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport over there. Oh no!
Did you get deaded?
All right, one more teleport. He teleported up while you were in midair, and then he fell back down the hole.
All right.
I was wondering
moves.
if that was possible, or. But yes, it is. So you got to be careful when you teleport.
Nice.
I like the rogue aspects, just the variety and not knowing exactly what you're faced, but the skills are maintained. That's really interesting.
Exactly. That's the core of the design right there, right? So we love these precise adaptations. We love seeing a situation, thinking, what's in my toolkit that lets me respond to this? And then adapt it and mastering the game, right? We don't love Mega Man 2's like Heat Man disappearing blocks, where the only way to get it is to like die a bunch of times by falling into the pit with no indication of where the blocks are appearing.
Whoa.
So we throw different pieces at you every time. Obviously, it's a very early roguelike. Like, we're still very early in the process. We're not even on early access yet. We got a ways to go there. But there's still a pretty decent amount of level generation here.
That's awesome. So when are you releasing? Do you have a date?
That is a great question. We don't have a firm date yet. We're definitely going to do early access. So early access for 20XX. If anybody watching either played 20XX or saw it during early access, you know that we were in early access for 2.5 years, about really long time. The only reason we're still here, the only reason the studio is still here, the only reason we get to make a new game It's because our incredible early access community on 20XX gave us the feedback and the resources and the pushes we need to make the game great. So we'd be really foolish to not do early access this time around. So early access is definitely coming. Probably sometime between this fall and next spring. We've been telling people it's like a 70% chance that it's somewhere in that window. But it depends on a lot of stuff. And then 1.0 is sometime after that. You know, we can't hit a 1.0 release date until we know exactly how much stuff we got to get done in early access.
That totally makes sense. The game is gorgeous. It's really fun to play. And you're releasing on what platforms initially? I know you said early access, so that'll be Steam, right?
So Steam. So PC first for sure. Our official line right now is PC and consoles. We don't know which consoles yet. We're still working on that.
Totally makes sense. Can you wish list now?
You can wish list now, and as of right this moment, right here, right now, you can actually play our Steam Festival demo, this demo, early, now, right now, actually right now. You can click it and have fun. You can Google 30XX Steam. It'll probably pop up pretty easily there. Unlike 20XX, we have a little bit better SEO this time around, thankfully. Then, of course, you can wish list it. Yeah, please.
Yeah, wish list the game, play the game. The game is really cool. Thanks so much for hopping on. Where can we find you and the game? Any last shout outs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of the team we've put together. Thank you guys so much for helping us get this game to where it is now. And I want to shout out the community for having been so supportive of us while we've been building it. Without you guys, we are nothing and we have nothing. And we're so happy that you're here for the journey.
Dope. Thanks you so much. Thanks for
of course. Thank you guys. Take care.
All right. That was 30XX. It's coming along so great. Make sure to wish list it and check out their Steam page. Next up, we have West of Dead. Adam is going to be joining us. Let's roll to the trailer.
Purgatory, Wyoming, 1888. A shifting land shaped by the souls of the dead.
Ah, bah ça c'est le jeu qu'on jouait hier soir. C'est Dead... non, West of Dead. Ah. Bah qu'est-ce qu'on se fait chier, quand même, hein? Putain. Oh.
Some say a coward dies 1,000 deaths, and a hero only dies once. I says, a hero is someone who keeps coming back.
Pas de Xbox One alors que le jeu est aussi sur PC, quoi. Nul.
That was the amazing trailer of West of Dead. We got Adam on the line. What is poppin', Adam? How you doing?
Can you hear me? Good. Very good, thank you. Excited.
I like your poster. Logan is sick.
Oh yeah, I've got loads of rubbish up here, loads of daft stuff.
Yeah, so we've been playing the game. Like, congratulations! It looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It's so awesome to have the actors you have involved with it. The game is gorgeous.
Lucky.
Yeah, how did that even come about?
Well, I'd like to say it was completely by design, 100% skill. It was our plan the whole time, but really, it only happened when we teamed up with Raw Fury, and they saw something a lot bigger in the game than we had the confidence. Being British, we're low on confidence. So
Voilà, ça y est. Ils sont partis pour nous faire découvrir le jeu.
So they said, "Oh, you guys, who would be your ideal, actor to be the narrator in this game?" And we were like, "Well, Ron Perlman, they'll never get him," and they did. So we thought they were joking most of the time, and then they said, "No, we really have got him." And so that was a bit of a dream come true for us, to be honest.
That's cool. Yeah, shout out to Raw Fury. They've been amazing with the working with us on the Guerrilla Collective. And
Salut Drac, ça va et toi?
Some exclusive stuff was pretty awesome. I mean, we've been following this game for a while, and yeah, having Ron Perlman, it definitely adds notoriety, but also to the theme.
Ouais, c'est ça, c'est le créateur du jeu.
Sounds so rich.
Yeah, definitely. He was by far the top of our list. So yeah, we're very, very lucky.
So tell us about the game and like how you came up with the whole idea. Your team came up with the idea and the design.
Yeah, no problem at all. So I mean, what we usually like to say is that a person had a very clear idea on everything. That isn't how this happened at all. It was very much a bucket list of things that we love. So we love comic books and we love different flavors of shooters, and we love horror games as well. And we had all these different ideas about things that might be really fun. And we decided to try and put it all in one package and see what happens. Luckily for us, it seemed to come together into something that has its own sort of voice, which we're quite proud of.
So tell us a little bit about the mechanics as he's smashing.
So as you can see, you can see straight away that we were trying to meld two different shooter genres that very rarely have anything to do with one another. So we're big fans of twin-stick shooters, but we also wanted to see what could happen if we brought cover mechanics into the center of the twin-stick experience. And that was quite novel for us. We hadn't seen that done or combined in that way before, and that meant quite a lot of prototyping and testing as always to try and figure that out. But we're trying to get this clear sense of like a Western style gunfight where you crouch behind cover, count your bullets, dash out,
that's cool,
do some damage, and then get back into cover again. And nearly every system in the game is to try and do one of two things. The baddies are either trying to get you out of cover, or if you're out of cover, they're trying to get you back into cover again. So it's got a very quite unique staccato pace to it.
And the cover is breakable and explodes and stuff like that as you go along. So they're trying to destroy the cover while you're trying to kill them.
Absolutely, yeah. So with the classic Western shootouts, you'll dive behind cover, reload your weapons, and you have a boost to how quickly you can reload when you're behind cover. So there's good reasons to get in there. But cover doesn't last forever. The great thing about it, though, is you can shoot from cover with complete impunity. If you're behind cover, even if you're shooting, the cover's going to take the damage, not you. But it doesn't last forever.
Nice. That's really cool. It does definitely look like a living, breathing comic book, which is...
Oh, thank you very much.
I really
That's exactly what we were hoping to hear.
All the characters have a lot of like interesting design. He's got the red cape and kind of like the Ghost Rider flame, but then he has this like... I'm an art dude, so like, looking at that, this is the first thing I kind of key into, but he has like the slash across his skull, which is really like makes him stand out. I could definitely see figures and stuff made from this character.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think a lot of our sort of love for different comic books shone through in a lot of the designs, especially when it came to like the main characters and that appear in the title for sure. Very good. You're playing well. As you can see, we've had to use quite a lot of interesting things with the different weapons you have as well. So shotguns have a very short range compared to rifles. And there's about 4 different flavors of weapons. There's rifles, shotguns, pistols, and revolvers. And each of these squeeze the player into a different corner of the gameplay. So shotguns are great close up and have a wide arc, but you've really got to get out from cover to get close enough to use them most of the time, unless you're willing to sit put and wait for something to come to you.
So can you tell us about or tell the world about the story and the narrative behind what's going on.
Yeah, love to, absolutely love to. So we are doing quite a riff of the kind of like a stranger in town, sort of classic Western style story. You don't know who you are, you don't know who you were, but you know that there is a new place that you need to clean up, and like this place, different from other westerns, is set in the afterlife, but
Réveillez-moi.
kind of Christian style afterlife that we thought. It's its own place. It's got its own kind of lore, and this is a place which is shaped by the memories and fears of the souls that are stuck there. And normally, the souls will pass through. Everything's fine, and they face some kind of judgment. The good ones head east, and the bad ones are sent west. But for some reason, Purgatory is stuck. People aren't leaving when they should, and that's because something's gone wrong, which is what you're there to sort out.
Mec, c'est pas possible.
I can't wait to see some of the bosses. I bet you the design is.
Alors, surtout qu'on l'a vu hier, nous, le jeu. J'ai DL la bêta hier. Donc,
I mean, the other thing about this story is, with the structure, is a kind of a roguelite structure, so you never know.
C'est comment se faire chier, quoi.
We want that to. We really want to make the players skill.
Bah attends, si les gens ils regardent comme moi les whitelists et compagnie, ils font bêta. Attends, bah on peut tester le jeu.
Story is a bit of a challenge actually, so we had to start. We had to start thinking about the story not as a straight line,
Et puis là,
but
bam
as a
bam.
spiral that goes back around to the same points. And what can we tell the player in these known little areas of the game?
Ah, je suis pas connecté à Twitch. Dommage.
So there's a little cast of characters who will tell you a bit.
Toi aussi, Arnaud, tu t'endors.
As well as recurring.
Ça fait 1h16. 1h16 où je me fais chier, quoi.
So is it so the enemy distribution is randomized, and are like is the cover randomized or the levels randomized, or just mostly the enemy distribution?
It is. So every room. Sorry, you're speaking to the coder here, so stand back. I'm going to start going into detail.
Go in.
So every room that you're in has been thought of as like a dozen different flavors of encounters. Cool. So there's lots of different places where it might be a good place to have cover. It might be a good place to have a column in the way. And then also the rooms are all combined in different orders. The contents of the room is different every time. And also,
si les confs à l'avenir, je dis stop. Ah bah, si les confs de la semaine prochaine, c'est la même chose, hein, Steam, je sais pas quoi, là. C'est pas comme si on va se faire chier, quoi.
So that allows us to have some degree on the exact number of enemies that you might have, but we kind of make recipes of enemies.
C'est clairement pas comme si on va se faire pas chier.
One of these guys as a minimum, but we can never have more than 2 of these types of baddies. So when we throw that through a computer, we end up with what we hope is a best of both.
Les 2 premiers jours, c'était intéressant, je trouvais ça bien, mais là,
it will never be a mob of purely melee guys.
C'est d'une longueur.
At the same time, it won't be the same every time either. It'll be different for every single run.
That's cool. Yes.
I was wondering about health because I was like.
M'excuserai, hein. J'abaisse mon siège, moi. Je me pose, hein, parce que dans 3 ans, on y est encore, hein.
That's right. Yeah. So if the skull flashes in the bottom right corner, yeah. So that ring, those are save points. So you can recover your run back from there if you haven't died. So if you have to go and make a cup of tea or coffee, you can continue your run from there. So it's got an in-game save, so you can runs can get pretty long. So if you're like, oh, I'm an hour in, but I don't want to lose my run, you can stop. And also, it's a roguelite, so there are extra abilities that you can permanently unlock. For example, a health flask, which have 1 heal per run, followed by a best health flask with 2 heals per run, or rather 2 heals per level. And these things start to give you just
Mais non, c'est bide comme con. Il faut regarder.
Depending on how
C'est trop
confident
bien.
you can, if you really need to, grind it a little bit just to give yourself a bit of a leg up. Or if you super on it from the start, you can get further.
On n'est pas du tout en train de se faire chier là. C'est pas vrai.
West of Dead looks dope, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really cool. People are gonna definitely enjoy it.
Qu'est-ce qu'il mange là?
So, right now, can you wish list on Steam? I saw that
Qu'est-ce que tu manges de bon?
You can play the demo on Xbox, right?
Yes, you can. So you can play the demo on Xbox and Steam. It is currently.
Bah, ramène à voir, enfoiré.
And I think I'm meant to say this. I can't see any notifications popping up.
Ah,
so
ça
if
y
you
est.
play the open beta, I think you can get a discount on the launch, which is on Thursday.
Thursday is the launch, so everybody pick that up. Make sure to definitely, check out this game. It's really awesome. Thanks for joining us. How can we find out more about you and your team and anything else?
Yeah, please. So we are Upstream Arcade. Google us. We should be there. I won't do that right now. But, yeah, Google us, find out a bit more about us, and this is West of Dead. And yeah, the team got a very small team.
Non.
4 people.
Mois prochain.
The Central team. So we're very excited.
Il n'y a rien d'autre derrière.
And hope that everyone has a lot of fun.
C'est la seule conf du jour, on se fait chier quoi.
Thanks, Adam. That was West of Dead.
Triste.
The game is cool. Shout out to Raw Fury again for hooking them up with Ron Perlman and just being amazing publishers. Next up, we have System Shock. Check out the trailer.
Bonjour, bienvenue dans les années 80. Il n'y a pas de son. Il n'y a pas les bruits de tir. Ah. C'est pas le virus qui a tué le 3, c'est les confs diffusés. Ah ouais, c'est ça. Ah ouais. Salle d'attente, veuillez patienter. Putain, c'est tellement ça en fait. Ah. Ah.
So that was the System Shock trailer.
Oh non, 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 il va jouer.
Showed yesterday on for the first time. The game looks really amazing. Here we have Steven Kick, CEO
il va jouer. Oh non.
Games, and it's great to have you here to talk with us, CEO of Night Dive. How's it going?
Good, good. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here to talk Shock.
I thought you said talk shop.
Ouais. C'est pas ça, mec.
I'm a big fan of like a lot.
Mais tu sais que ça va durer 10 ans, quoi.
In the games that you've worked on previously. I think I was talking about like maybe a week.
Wow, enfin moi je préfère avoir du gameplay manette en main. Bien beau de me montrer du gameplay, mais si le jeu me plaît pas.
You guys worked on, which were a big part of my childhood, with my like Voodoo card, Voodoo 2 card,
Mais non, c'est pas que je suis pas content.
Card and my like janky Celeron processor, but playing all those games back in the day, they're like the first 3D games. So it's cool that you were able to jump in and have your team work on System Shock.
Ouais.
Congratulations on.
J'arrive encore à me plaindre, ouais.
Yeah, thank you very
La
much.
musique a sens.
You could say kind of the core philosophy of Night Dive has been to go out and find those games that you and I both played as kids and be able to resurrect them so that not only we can enjoy them, but new generations can enjoy them as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about like how System Shock like came to be, this version of it?
This version of it. Okay, so
Alors, System Shock, qu'est-ce que ça donne comme jeu? Est-ce que c'est intéressant?
The re-release of System Shock 2, which
Quoi?
up to that point had not seen a digital re-release of any kind. And the success of that is kind of what catapulted Night Dive into the business of going out and finding other IP and other games to resurrect.
Oh, cool.
And System Shock was just one of those games that once we had the rights to it, we knew was kind of owed a remaster or a re-release of some kind, because as good as it was back in 1994, it was very obtuse. The control scheme was kind of notoriously difficult to master. 3D was still kind of on the cusp of
J'ai la sensation d'être revenu 30 ans en arrière avec,
it was
avec
up
ça
against
là.
games like Doom, so it just didn't really have the chance to really breathe and to show what it had to offer. And so we thought it was just the perfect game to breathe new life into. And so we've completely redone the game from the ground up in Unreal Engine 4. It started off as a Kickstarter project back in 2016, and it's grown and evolved to what we're playing now.
What were some of the things that you did to make it more accessible?
This one's going to seem fairly obvious, but even adding something as simple as mouse look does
Ça joue avec des
the
disquettes.
original didn't have that.
Je dis, on est revenu
Kind of
30 ans en
hard to explain,
arrière.
but you had to kind of click and drag the screen around to move the viewport. And we've since added mouse look into the original. But this game is going to play very much like a contemporary first-person shooter. We're going to add in tutorial tooltips to help people along the way so they understand what these implants do that you're installing now.
Et pas, c'est le bordel chez lui.
Combat and everything is going to be familiar
Et
to
pas.
anybody who's played a
Je sais
first-person
pas, la...
shooter in the last.
J'ai Arnaud pour le level 11.
Yeah, this is a game that definitely benefits from an upgrade, a modernization, and this is really beautiful in terms of how it looks, not only but gameplay too. And I was noticing that as you get close to things, they still have this sort of pixelated. Let me go to something like this pixelated art style, which is
Il aurait pu ranger à faire une conférence style des...
But then as you get farther away, you have that incredible and
Dude.
reflections and stuff. It looks awesome.
Yeah, thank you. This art style is something that we have taken a lot of pride in because we did want to pay homage to the original in some way artistically. And one of the first things we did was actually brought on the original concept artist and main artist from the original System Shock to re-envision all the environments, all the enemies, all the weapons, pretty much everything. And so we've not only got to see his evolution as an artist over the last 20 years, but also exactly how System Shock would look today if it were updated. So this is as true to a new realization of that as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pick up that ammo.
Getting really sucked into this game now.
Yeah, I just kind of want to let the ambience roll through. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't mind watching. It's always a thrill to see somebody play it for the first time.
Oh, le blanc.
Yeah, it was so hard to play back in the day. I wasn't primarily a PC gamer. I had a Mac, but it was one of those games where you're like, because Deus Ex for me was one of my favorite games, and this is obviously kind of a precursor to that. It's one of those games that you wish you could have played more. So it's so awesome that you've done this. You've gone to this effort.
Il y a 151. C'est écrit là.
There was no way to do something
T'as
like
plus de
this.
code.
With the textures that they had, where it's like, okay, enter the keypad here.
Oh là là.
Yeah, you know what I just noticed is you're playing with a gamepad, and it might be a lot more difficult just because we haven't really implemented
Attends, le mec il galère comme je sais pas quoi.
controller support yet. Like it seems like you're getting by.
What the fuck, quoi.
But when the game does come out on PlayStation
Ah, bonjour.
Xbox and games that are going to use that control scheme, it's going to be a lot more fluid.
Yeah,
it feels good on the gamepad. I mean,
it does.
As of now, but I definitely understand that.
Ooh. And this is the original audio, right? From
Yes, so right now all the audio logs and Shodan's audio is from the original game, and that's purely temporary.
Okay.
We figured, hey, we've got the audio, let's use that to stub in while we're developing, and then as we kind of near the end of development, we'll go ahead and re-record all this audio with professional voice actors and new lines.
Right. I was wondering that, and it is a nice touch though.
Censé faire peur.
Something that an option. I don't know if you're gonna keep it, but it is fun to hear the old stuff.
I remember playing this, and those dudes creeped me the hell out.
Yeah.
It's still like creepy as hell.
You may want to use a meta patch pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Okay, how do I do that?
This is where
it's the red one all the way to the left.
Oh, okay. This one.
Yeah.
And how do I click it?
I wish I could tell you on the keyboard. It's you just hit 1 on the keyboard.
1. Okay, hold on. I've got a keyboard. Wait, I have to get out.
Le mec il galère, quoi. Non.
There you go.
Oh, nice. See, the gamepad is working.
Yeah, if I just
make it happen.
If I was good at it. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Tu sens que le jeu il a pas été conçu pour jouer à la manette, hein?
So the demo is out now, which is awesome that everybody can play it, and you can wishlist it now on Steam, correct?
Whoa.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's out on GOG and Steam currently.
Okay, cool. And when you release, are you going to release multi-platform simultaneously, or are you going to release PC first?
A simultaneous release is the plan.
Ah, je sais pas s'il se fait chier, mais...
PlayStation, Xbox, and PC all at the same time. But we're still a little ways off from that, so we'll see. But that is the plan.
That makes sense. You don't have a release yet, or do you have one?
It's to be decided.
Makes sense.
When it's done. I mean, we're kind of at that stage right now where we've invested so much time.
Yeah.
Well, you're dead.
Dead, son. I can deal with this.
Oh, maybe.
No.
You got deaded.
We've invested so much time and so much love and passion in this project, really, that it's going to be done when it's done. I know it's cliched as that.
Mais c'est pas lui qui joue.
This is going to be perfect.
C'est le mec
à... I'm not going to make any exceptions.
À gauche, là.
Totally makes sense. I mean, it's like a masterpiece. I know a lot
Lui,
of
là, qui joue. C'est pas lui, hein, c'est pas le dev. C'est lui qui joue.
I saw the updated trailer yesterday. They went crazy. So that it's awesome to see that kind of love, get pushed back into something that you love,
Yeah, and a lot of that is kind of owed to just the lineage that System Shock has, which spans as far as the BioShock games, Prey, Dishonored. Pretty much any immersive sim that's come after that is owes its existence to System Shock, and there's a lot of fans waiting for this, and we know you're waiting very patiently, and we're doing our best to deliver something that's going to be memorable and that is going to be
cool. Well, it was great having you on board. Thank you so much, Steven, for showing the game and talking about it. It's cool to see how the sausage is made, and for folks in the chat, to learn about it too. So yeah, shout out.
Thank you guys.
How could we find more about your team and the game?
You can go to systemshock.com. That's the easiest one, and we do actually still have a backer kit open for those who still want to back the project and score some really cool swag at the same time. We've got collector's editions, t-shirts, art books, all that stuff is up for pre-order right now. And if you just kind of want to follow Night Dive Studio, you can follow us on Twitter. It's Night Dive Studio because we ran out of characters like you guys did.
Yeah, Guerrilla
On a le
Collective.
même écran.
I know how that is.
D'accord.
So
yeah,
for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and everybody go try out the demo.
Yeah,
the wish list. It's gonna be dope.
Cool. Thank you guys.
All right.
Awesome.
That was System Shock. You did really well with the controller.
I did better. I'm super excited about this game. This whole genre, like he was saying, like the games that have come after this, it's had such an impact on the industry, and super excited that they're not going to release it until they're ready, because this is a super important game. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, let's shout out our sponsors again. We got Carlos Bordeaux. Coming up with
C'est pareil, ça c'est un jeu qu'on a vu
we're looking for in the chat. We're looking for that to roll you guys over, and it's coming up next. Shout out to Idea Xbox, Razer, Fully Illustrated, Wilmer Sound, AV Society, Astro. We got a Razer machine here. They've been dope. Also shout out to IGN and Idea at Xbox again. GameSpot and Twitch for really supporting the Guerrilla Collective. We couldn't have done it without their help showing these games again. These independent game developers, large and small, came together to do this because there was a lack of E3, and we wanted to get visibility for the games that we've been spending so much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears to make. Yes, please also, if you have in your heart of hearts, contribute to UNICEF, NAACP, or Gameheads through the link below.
Je sais pas si elle fait des
we are going to be rolling
3000 viewers.
into the next game. Yes, here's the trailer for Eternal Cylinder.
Ah oui, ça c'est le sport... c'est Sport 2, ça. C'est vrai. Top streamer en France GG. Sérieux? Non. Ah, filé. Y'a personne qui serait. Loup, là. C'est très étonnant qu'il y ait personne qui stream le 3e jour. C'est quoi?
Far from here, in the path of destruction, no one survives alone.
And that was the beautiful trailer for the Eternal Cylinder. We do have Carlos on board to talk about the game. We're going to play the game. Hey, what's up, Carlos?
Hello, how are you guys? Pretty good.
Great. The game looks amazing. I think the first time we played it was at Good Shepherd's hidden area at Gamescom, and it was so.
C'est bien, c'est au moins tu vois des jeux que tu sais que tu vas jamais jouer d'avance. T'es sûr que tu vas jamais y jouer en fait, donc c'est cool. Dans un sens.
2016, I did a type of a small prototype I did with a colleague.
Yeah.
It wasn't expected to be like the official next Ace Team game that we were doing at the time. It was just a kind of a personal project, and we took it to a GDC, to show it around, but then it started catching the attention of people and was like, wow, it seems like this is more than we anticipated, and it grew into this pretty large project. I would say definitely one of the biggest things we've done to date. So yeah, it's been quite a trip.
The game is so dope that people are accusing it of breaking the stream.
Yes, I noticed that.
And
Après, c'est pas eux, c'est des développeurs indépendants. C'est pas Guerrilla même. Hein. C'est pas les mêmes mecs que Horizon Zero Dawn. Hein. Ça, c'est que des mecs indés. Hein.
Right now. Shout out to the chat for being very hilarious and vocal, but we're gonna play the game.
Sure.
Oh,
it's cool.
I hit continue.
We're gonna play in a continued state. It's gonna be great.
Well, I can let you.
Maybe
you're the big. Yeah, start. Go to the main menu and maybe start from the beginning.
Okay, let's do that.
That is gonna show the new game.
Ah, du coup, c'est plutôt Steam.
Yeah, just walk us through it. The gameplay.
Steam, Epic, Xbox, PS4.
So, it's
voilà quoi.
Definitely a different game. It's a game about these little creatures which are being introduced here in this intro cinematic, which are the Trebum. The Trebum are directly inspired by Qbert. It's this funny little head creatures with a trunk and two legs, very similar. But they have this ability to mutate and eat things in the environment and transform. So you're a family of these little creatures that are born in this alien world. As you see, as soon as you exit the intro cinematic, you start right there right in front of the cylinder, and they're tossed. You appear in this very hostile alien world, and it's a survival game, but not a survival game. It's an adventure game, but not an adventure game. It's really something that's quite different. People have been comparing it to Spore, but really nothing like Spore at all. It's not. No, it's not. Maybe the looks of some of the creature designs and stuff like that, but
ah oui, c'est que des indés ça. Ah oui, c'est toujours pas compris, Drac. Ah oui, c'est pas des gros jeux. Hein. Ce sera pas des jeux à 70 balles. Hein.
Yeah. If you look backwards, you start and immediately you have this massive cylinder that's crushing the whole world. You don't know what's going on. And one of the big difficulties we've had with the project is definitely the technical aspect is pretty big in this project, because we have everything that's being destroyed here is actually
non, il y aura jamais un truc de ouf. Pas sur ce genre de con.
Of the game at the scene, like many games, like maybe have some very cool starting setup where you had like lots of maybe particles and stuff, but the truth is that for this game, the cylinder is rolling at times all the time, and it can get to it can go pretty fast, so we had to have all solutions for static objects, like solid objects like rocks and things that you can see kind of break and explode, but we also have trees that bend and many different things, the creatures that can crush and stuff.
Yeah. He was making me nervous, kept looking behind him. I was like, look forward.
Yeah, we've been, at the beginning, we had the cylinder going like at a stable speed, and people were dying in the very first minutes of the game, so we don't want that to happen. But right now that the cylinder has stopped, you start getting introduced into the first basic things that the creature starts. And as you'll see, you get these like kind of weird grasshoppers, and they drop this little egg there. And if you eat it and choose it, you'll notice one of the main features of the game. Right now, our little friend is eating that piece, and boop, you grow these grasshopper legs.
Wow,
allow you to sort of jump out of the ditch and sort of start exploring and playing around. So the game is separated in a structure that's not very typical compared to other titles, in a sense that, yes, it is procedurally generated, the terrain, but at certain moments we have the game go into like pre-designed areas where we want to further the narration of the game, where we want to further the story and do specific puzzles or specific areas. So if you, for
Ça
instance,
change les Pokémon.
you see that fish over there, the one that's swimming over there. If you can go and eat it, try going there and
Arnaud.
yeah, exactly. And you go out and eat it, you'll notice that you'll acquire another mutation. The mutations stack on each other. Not all of them, but now you have a big body, so this allows you to have a bigger inventory. You have to be. This game has a lot of features. You have a stamina wheel for swimming, and all mutations can alter different aspects of the treble in many ways. So these are.
Okay.
Sure.
No, talk about it. This thing is crazy looking.
Yeah, that's one of the animals of the game. They just wander around there. Those are. They can try to roll over you, and so there's a lot of things that roll over you in this game. But we have like this whole ecosystem of different alien creatures, and they're separate by different biomes. So we have this is like the main what we call the alien savanna biome. And go around there, you can go to the first elder. There's an elder over there, which is gonna introduce you to one of the aspects.
I like the roll.
You can roll.
It's so dope.
Yeah, we made Rock of Ages.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. It's like reminiscent.
We like rolling, so
that's cool.
So as I was saying, there's different biomes with totally different types of environments, and there's different creatures that you'll encounter. They range in scale and size. And some are predators, some are herbivores, some are very dangerous, some are not dangerous at all. We're trying to make this kind of ecosystem in which the player gets to explore. But what makes it unique also is the aspect of how progression goes on with the cylinders sort of forcing you to move forward, and we have to sort of build the world as you move forward. So we constantly have to load in the environment.
The inner voice said, "Run." The towers would not stop the cylinder unless they were.
That's so cool.
Look at these guys.
So now you should go to the tower that you see. You should roll to any of those two towers. You can check. You see the big red beam.
Yeah.
Go that direction, for instance. Okay. Yeah. Either of those.
He's getting nervous. You see that?
I'm panicking.
He's like walking slowly.
Freaking out.
The music is intended to be.
Yeah.
So you have to reach that tower over there.
I'll make
this is the very beginning, so you're basically learning the.
Step on the symbol, or the cylinder would not be stopped.
Later on in the game, the cylinder gets this red glow, and it really catches a lot of speed. I mean, it goes really, really fast. So you're basically racing your way for your life, and with all these little creatures, you have to really, really run away.
Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, that's we call him the Chomper.
Yeah, you should stand there and let him eat you, Alex.
I have to stay on the blue.
Oh,
I've got to stop the cylinder. Right.
Stop it up. There you go.
So there you're safe, and you can.
I was scared. I thought Chomper was going to smash you on while you were stopping it.
He's a vegetarian.
Wow.
So the structure of the game is a little bit like that, but not entirely. You have to remember that this is a kind of the onboarding aspect part of the game. So here's a little bit more peaceful. There are creatures that can actually kill you. But to the right, you'll notice there was this kind of snowy area that you can go over there. So that's a small, brief introduction to one of the different biomes. So if you go there, you'll notice that the treble will start shaking and because it's cold, and you're going to actually start losing health. But if you move to the left over there, I'm just cheating here. I'm telling you, you can see those like puffy balls near to those coral things that are right behind you. If you could go. Right back.
Il grandit.
Behind you, right behind you. Where you see that sort of coral things.
Coral. Oh, this.
Like
yeah, those.
No.
Turn around.
Okay. Turn around to go the other way.
Right there.
Into the snow.
Into the snow. Okay. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay, I think. Okay.
Yeah. There. You see the puppy purple balls to the left. To the left.
Oh.
To your left.
The left.
There they are. Yeah. Eat one of those. Exactly. You can eat one of them. So not all ingredients give you a mutation. Some of them do, some of them don't. There's a reason for that. So this is a temporary mutation, but later you can make it permanent. But now you have a coat of fur. So this allows you to explore in this area, and you can find other Trebum who will join you in your adventure. So there's a lot of different aspects of how we allow people to explore different areas. So this is the chomper, but this is the furry one from the snow areas. You have to be careful.
Oh, cool.
He will eat you. He will eat you.
Yes, do not get eaten.
Okay, so he's not as vegetarian as I thought he might be.
No.
That's cool. And when you get the different troubles, you could switch between them, right?
Yeah. For instance, there's one over there who's in his little home.
Oh, cool.
And now you have a little AA partner who will follow you, and that's a central aspect of the game is getting other Trebum and growing like this herd of little creatures, which is going to follow you during the adventure, and you can switch between them, and you can stack on them their own powers and their own abilities. So it's a game. It's a narrative game where there's a reason for all this. It's just not a procedurally generated sort of world where you get to goof around. But that is a lot of fun in the game. But there's a purpose. There's more than a purpose. There's a reason for why the cylinder is here, who you are, what's going on in this world.
And there's tons of depth in this game. I mean, there's the exploration. There is even when I was trying it earlier, you have like a stamina system too, where you have to make sure that you're eating and that kind of thing, right? And
that gets introduced later in the game. It's a little bit like you get the energy pouch and the stomach where you have to feed your creatures. So if you jump there, you can get that egg.
Oh, I can jump up here?
You can just jump up there, and you can grab that egg with the... Now, if you go to where you can see these little... Behind the other way, you can see that thing there where you can heat the egg if you leave it there.
Oh, so that's another trouble.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, just, if you stand there, it's going to work.
Okay.
There it is. Cool. So it's heating the egg, and that would allow you to get another friendly little trouble. You can actually name them. I don't know if it's going to work with a controller now, but I think we're going to just leave it at that.
Okay.
He's going to name it me. Thanks. I appreciate it.
I hope Justin doesn't get eaten.
I look extra confused. That's me.
The confused trouble.
Yeah, confused trouble.
So the friendly Trebum, they help you in the. It's not only about getting more of these and allowing your family to grow. It also there's also certain puzzles which have requirements of how many creatures you need in order to unlock the areas. If we want to see more of the content, you can go to the left of this large mountain, and you're going to see one of these giant serpent creatures, which are called the...
Am I going the right way? Oh, no.
The other way. The other way.
Yeah. Okay.
To the left of the mountain, and just keep on going. Left of it. Left. Go left.
Oh,
left.
Sorry.
No,
wait.
the other way.
This
no.
way. My
that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm the most annoying.
Yeah, he's going the opposite way on purpose and naming his friends troubles.
They're on the adventure with me. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yikes.
So right beneath this colossal creature, there's a sort of entry to a interior, one of what we call the Elder Caves, because there's basically these indoor environments where you can explore more. Here you get more introduction to the story of the game and how aspects of the game. Now you could have. The way you resolved this part of the beginning of the game was getting these 3 specific Trebum, but there are other in the outdoor environment which you can get in different ways and see and discover other mutations. And that's the idea, that different people will solve this in different ways.
That's cool.
There's
There's a lot of backstory and history that you've created for this game.
Yeah, well, one of the games we're most well known for is Xenoclash, and a lot of people appreciate the type of surreal worlds that we create, but also the surreal stories that we make for those worlds. So here, for instance, you start getting some puzzles. So you have this strange door with this box-shaped statue, and you're getting introduced to this strange ingredient. So it's all part of the puzzle. We have a compendium for creatures, food. At the moment, you don't have the mutation, which allows you to add creatures into your compendium. But you'll notice this area opened up, and if you can go there, one thing you haven't showed that much is throwing water with your trunk. So with the right trigger, you can shoot. If you hold.
Oh, cool! And they join in.
And they join in. So
that's awesome. Another organic piece.
One. Yeah, I think you should eat that one.
Okay.
You should definitely eat that one. He's slipping down up the stairs. Oh. That's one of the.
I thought he was transforming.
No.
Ah, there he is.
Nice. So now you are part of the puzzle.
You are now part of the puzzle. So you would have tried to enter that socket before. It wouldn't have opened. So now with the square trapdoor, you can access to this area, and you find yourself with Gromo, the Elder.
Malheureusement, j'ai pas grand chose à dire. Hein, c'est un peu l'ennui.
So the game is
à un point.
Since you're in this kind of alien world, at the beginning we didn't have the narrator in the game. That's something that came later. During this game has been a lot of experimentation. If you looked at the original design document, there's the core concept of the game is there, but we started seeing what things worked and what things didn't work through a process of discovery, because it's very different to anything else that we've ever done, or we really can't draw parallels with other titles. So, for instance, the narrator was something that came later on. He's actually part of the story. He's not just there to help players, but he's an actual character. So, yeah, it's a very unique game, and we're really excited about it.
The game is really gorgeous. It's so open. There's so many things to do and expansive. It's very expansive. When are you releasing? Do you have a release date yet?
No, we do not have a release date. We have an idea of when we might be able to release, but if I say something, some people will get mad.
Yes, totally understand that from experience.
Let's not upset the internet more than we already have.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really awesome. Can you wish list it, and where will you be able to find it?
Yes, it can be wish listed on the Epic Games Store. We're also launching on PlayStation and Xbox, but I don't think we have wish list there. It will be a simultaneous release, but yeah, we don't know when.
Cool. How can we find out more about the Eternal Cylinder?
Yeah, I should call out that there's a beta. You just have to register at eternalcylinder.com. And if you want to know more about aceteam.cl, we're a Chilean studio, so .com, CL, to check more about Eternal Cylinder and other Ace Team games.
Thank you so much for hopping on board, Carlos. It's awesome to see this game. I was so happy that we were able to showcase the trailer the other day, and then actually get to play so people could see exactly what it is, especially since it was blowing up in the chat. And the cylinder did not destroy us today. We're rolling out with the cylinder.
I'm also disappointed that it didn't.
Yeah.
I thought this was one I did well at.
Yeah, there's going to be memes. We're making them. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm looking forward to them.
All right. Thank you so much. that was the Eternal Cylinder. The game is gorgeous. You did okay. Thanks for naming me one of the troubles. I appreciate it.
Well,
it was great.
Yeah, this is a really creative game. This is really amazing. There's something in the water in Chile.
Yeah, definitely. It's been an amazing experience. We have one trailer that came from New Blood just in that we want to showcase before we head out. Let's roll the New Blood trailer.
Ok. La suite, quoi.
Inside at last, welcome.
And that was Gloomwood from New Blood. Thank you so much, New Blood, for dropping an exclusive trailer of the Guerrilla Collective. The Guerrilla Collective is now over. It's been an amazing experience. Thanks for hopping on board, Alex.
Oh, yeah. Thank
and
you.
this amazing space at Wilmer Sound. We want to thank all of our partners again: IGN, GameSpot, Valve. I said IGN twice. Kind of funny, of course. ID at Xbox, Astro Razor, everybody who's been working with us, Ryan behind the boards, and Tracy and everyone else. It's been an amazing experience. Now we're going to go back to Greg. Peace.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The Guerrilla Collective is done. Over
Ça
3
y est,
days,
c'est
we've shown you
fini.
nearly 90 games from almost 80 teams. On behalf of The Mix, Kinda Funny, and every creator who took part in this event, we cannot thank you enough. We hope you all have a fantastic, not E3, I don't know, what are we calling? There's just showcases and events every day now. But for real, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your support. And no, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Sérieux, c'est fini? Oh, c'est fini! Waouh! Eh ben dis donc, c'est pas comme si c'était pas très passionnant, quoi.